Start recording.
Okay.
Well,
I forget.
Yeah, so we're now on. I need to roll, so bear with me, because I'm not totally sure where the different tabs are right now.
I forget. If we've already done the prayer this round, do we roll again
No.
or?
Nope.
Oh, okay, I'm out.
You're counted out.
he says, "Oh, I'm out.
I'm out. I'm done."
Drop mic, walk out.
Yes.
Oh, I think it was my something with my browser because it has logged me out of everything.
Oh
Wow.
man, it just really hates you right now.
It really does. I'm not sure what's.
It's mad at you. What did you do to your
I don't
computer?
know.
You invoked the wrath of the best duck.
I guess.
Yes.
You invoked the wrath, yes.
It's
Yep.
the ghost of Better Duck.
It is.
Roll 20 and beyond.
Alright, so.
Laura, do you have a camera or no?
No, I do not. Unless y'all can see me.
No.
So
That would,
Brandon,
that would be awkward.
so
I know,
Brandon,
right?
did you see the post that I put up there about, or on Messenger on the name of what I thought the name of this session should be?
I did, yeah, and I do
Yes.
like that. Okay, so I rolled a 15. So Muriel, you're up.
Right. Let's approach the throne of grace. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for being who you are. Your character is perfect in every way. We are grateful to call you Lord and Savior. We are grateful for the standard you give us by which we may measure our lives. And we are thankful for your son's sacrifice on the cross by way we can get to heaven. Father, we ask that you bless our roles. Good. May we grow in camaraderie and fellowship in you. Thank you for this group and for bringing us together. Only such good and perfect things can come from you, Father, and for those we are grateful. Please bless Brandon, give him all wisdom. Please bless our characters to not experience further trauma. In your name we pray, Jesus. Amen.
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 And then
I think I'm gonna have to change that again because that one is really hot.
How many wardrobe changes are you going to go through?
I've got 3 to choose from. No, wait, I take that back. I've got 6 to choose from near me.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll just go with.
Nice.
We'll go with this one, and that'll be it. Because yeah,
America.
that's right.
So, add a character. I want to apologize for not being here during the hardest session we've ever had.
not
And
You had no
with
control over it.
yes, and from this point on, it will be the paladin speaking.
All right.
Perfect. Yeah, so if you're just joining us, apologize for the hour late start. For whatever reason, apparently my dissing words to Spectrum last week might not have flown over so well. And they attacked my browser or something. Camera's a little bit different tonight. We're actually going to be using Discord for tonight. We'll see how it goes. Maybe this is where we stay. I see we've got some different backgrounds, and I think people are liking that, which is nice. If you're new, welcome. If you're watching from continuing from last week, you know that last week was definitely the deadliest fight that the Holy Rollers have encountered, and we actually experienced our first death with Better Duck, who now lays on the floor as a pile of ashes. And I actually changed his avatar to a pile of ashes. So
No,
That's just so sick and wrong.
That was very morbid.
Just too
Demerit.
soon.
it had to
Get
be
demerit.
done.
Go into
Too
it,
soon.
Brandon. You didn't have to do that.
The group encountered, actually a lot of fun last week. There was,
Up until a point.
Up till a point. There was
Yes.
there was poker to be played.
Yes.
Just,
Which, by the way, Terrence did not do
Gamble.
anything in. Yes, he did not gamble.
Okay, but like for real, like when I was watching the poker part, earlier today, like I was over here like trying not to cry because I was like, I
I
know
know.
what's gonna happen next.
I know. In a way, though, that was a blessing that we got to have that fun little
Yes.
team building thing right before everything went to hell.
Yeah.
Literally.
Literally. I think it was to a degree like a God thing, like big capital G God thing that we got that little time together.
Yeah.
You know, I really feel like we are really trying to push how long it will be before we start, because none of us really want to do this. I'm beginning to wonder.
I'm getting signed into Twitch now, and then we'll and then we'll start. So, and I'm only signing into Twitch to see if anyone's actually
Still there.
Yeah.
Okay, so out of curiosity, just so I kind of know, did the stairs come back after the beholder thing died, or like is it still just like a big 10-foot tall thing? Is there any way to get up to that beholder? Is my
You could
question.
probably jump it. Honest to gosh,
Yeah. So the stairs did not come back.
Okay.
And
is there a way to like get up there?
At this point, yeah. The
can
only
climb
way
it.
you're going to be able to get up there would be to make, that jump to the ledge and then, hoist yourself up, which we can get there here shortly.
What about these like bookshelves? I didn't see those. Maybe I could jump up on those.
Sure, we can certainly get there.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do have looks like we do have one viewer there, Strobic TV. So thank you.
That's
that
my
might
son.
Possibly be your son, Dennis. So
Yes.
welcome,
Oh.
welcome, offspring of Terrence.
So he apparently is able, because he works by himself, he's able to put his phone on.
Oh, I
and
love
Nice.
it!
while
Oh,
he's-
that's so great.
So
Yeah.
he can at least listen.
Those are the best jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, cool. So we will pick up right where we left off. The beholder has come out of the sky with his last chromatic orb spell. Alba shattered the throne, leaving nothing but a pile of rubble for which the
Good
beholder
job,
fell
Albus.
on.
Yes.
And yeah, we will pick it up from there. Have at it, folks.
Okay, so any sort of like composure that Mara had while in rage is completely gone. Just so y'all know, she is now like blind rage. She is very, very upset. She's gonna try and jump up on this little ledge thing to see if she can get up to this like beholder thing. Do I need to roll? something?
Yeah, make an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. Okay. Oh damn. How about a 6?
So with the 6, as you jump up, you catch, but you kind of smash your face into it a little bit.
Oh,
You're holding on and you're able to get yourself up there, but you take like 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
holy cow. Okay, so I'm like trying to kill myself at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah, so she gets up there?
she does. She makes it.
Oh, okay, cool. So she like literally like runs up to that body and she just starts slamming her warhammer into that body, and like you can just hear her being like, "You give him back! You can't have him! Stop this!" Like she's just like inconsolable right now. Just so y'all know. But that's what
Makes sense.
Roll an attack.
Okay. How's a 22?
22 definitely does what it needs to do. Go ahead and roll damage.
Just
Why?
repeat
Why?
Just repeat bludgeoning at this point.
7.
Okay, so yeah, so you just kind of go to town on this thing, smacking and hitting, kind
And
of around,
screaming at him.
kind of around the central eye. So as you do, just this viscous goo just kind of comes up and behind dirt is your kimono?
Honestly, she doesn't even notice. Like, literally, she doesn't know what's going on around her right now.
She's in a blind rage.
She's
She
blind
is
rage. She is
definitely in a
so
blind
angry
rage.
right now. Yes.
So at this point, we are out of combat, so
Yes.
I can actually walk. Ooh, what happened? Oh, hold on. Select move. So I can actually walk to the ashes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see Terrence, sword at his side, shield at his side, walk over. He looks at everybody, and you see just one tear. And he looks back and he just bows his head to pray. And just, Jehovah, this is your child. He died in defense of his friends. And you say that no greater love has anyone than to lay down his life for his friends and for those around him. To you I commit his spirit. Bahamut, I ask that you hold him dear and hold him tight. Terrence sheathes his sword and just stands there, just unable to move.
So as you finish your prayer, everyone notices that there's 4 points of light in this room. There's 3 kind of candelabras on the wall to the right, and then a fireplace to the left. You kind of notice as the flames dim a little bit, and just ever so softly and kind of in the back of your mind, you hear a whisper, and it's very fleeting, very, very quick, almost unnoticeable without really paying attention to it. You just hear, "It's so tough, friends. I miss you."
Would Mara have heard that?
She would have.
Okay. That probably would have like subdued her a little bit. She stops and she literally just like crumples to the ground and she just starts sobbing.
A wave of psychic energy explodes out of Muriel. Fortunately, no one's nearby, but it's kind of similar to Scarlet Witch. Felt her brother die through psychic connection, and it flattened all the enemies around her as a wave of grief explodes out of. It's kind of a similar vibe. And then Muriel just grabs herself, kind of hits the floor, and just starts to cry quietly.
Raja, before we heard that voice, as Terrence was doing his thing, Raja is just standing where he is, death gripping his sword in one hand, like to the point where his arm's somewhat shaken, frustrated at himself and how the group went into this battle kind of half-cocked, per se. And just watching Terrence do his thing and hearing Better Duck's voice, Raja puts his shield back on his back, sheaths his sword, and gives Better Duck a heartfelt salute with tears just somewhat rolling down his eyes.
I'm just going to sit down.
Kind of a send-off.
Just sit down, put my back against that dead creature there, and just put my head down. And just sit there.
So after that voice, Terrence kind of looks around at everybody, and you can see a visible change. And he's not in a good mood, not a good place. As I imagine everybody isn't. but you can see something change over him. His countenance darkens slightly. But he tells you all, I failed better, Duck. I will not fail you. And he begins to walk towards that door.
Terrence, do you have a container in your bag of holding?
I do not. Grab that Black Knight's helmet.
Okay. I'll grab the knight's helmet. Actually, I want to grab the armor for investigation later and put it in the bag of holding.
Okay.
But yeah, for now, put it in the bag of holding, but I'll keep the helmet. I want to collect Better Duck's ashes to send off somewhere else. I don't want those remains remaining in this area.
Okay, yeah, easy enough. If you're able to get the armor off of, we'll say both of the knights. Are you? What else are we doing here?
Before we do too much, I want to look around. What would I have to do to see if anybody is hurt enough that I can go? I have healing left, so I can go heal.
Make a medicine check.
Okay, now I gotta find out where all this stuff is. Hold on a second. Here we go.
I'm just going to investigate the room.
A natural 20.
Nice.
What there is. Oh, dang.
Yeah, you're able to tell who's hurt, who's not. So at this point, if you're hurt, tell Terrence, because I don't have all your sheets up, so...
Mariel's not in...
out of 104.
I have 23 points out of 57, but I'm not interested in being touched.
And
Raj is about halfway down, but I can heal myself, essentially.
And how is Albus?
Albus is fine. He got healed by Better Duck.
Okay. And Mara, what did you say you were?
39 out of 104.
Okay. So, seeing where she is, Terrence tries to jump up. Oops.
Yep.
On the dais.
Make an athletics check.
Okay. I know it. There we go. 16 plus 7 is...
Yeah, so you're...
Enough.
Yeah, definitely. You you just kind of hop up,
right.
grab, pull yourself up, just kind of in one quick motion, boom, up, and yeah, no problem.
Okay. Now, unfortunately, I've got to find this stuff here. Okay. It's not a spell, it's a feat. I am going to do the other 25 points that I have on Lay On of Hands.
Okay.
So there's 25 there. And I am able to do... Where to go? A cure wounds on first level. So now I gotta go do that. This is a little harder than the last one, but I'll get used to it. So I cast cure wounds. 1 point of damage, or 1 point of HP.
Okay. Mara stops crying for just a second, and she stands up and she looks up at you, and she gives you a big hug, and she says, "You know how I told you that not everything needs to be dealt with violence?"
And I say, yeah, I don't believe it.
No, not everything, but this guy definitely deserved every single hit, and she just starts sobbing into his chest and squeezing him tighter.
At this point, Terrence hugs back because, well, that's what Terrence would do. So as long as Mara needs it, Terrence will stay there.
Got it. All right. So
Get up, and I'm gonna.
Raja rolled a 21 on investigation for just the room in general.
Okay.
If there's anything to be found.
Yeah, there's a few things. So you notice that you notice over on the mantle lays a scaled egg. The egg is kind of a goldish fleck. You can kind of see a little bit of gold in it. So that's there. You also notice that, for whatever reason, behind the left bookshelf, you kind of watch as smoke is in the room. You kind of watch it make its way towards that bookcase, and it looks like it's possibly going around it.
Smoke?
Yeah. Kind of like
Hey
from
guys,
the fireplace.
I think there's a secret passage behind this this bookcase over here.
Can I identify or investigate? I should say.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I was gonna say I can grab the egg for later and we can investigate it.
Okay. Yeah. So with your 20, yeah, that easy enough. You can get the egg, put it in the bag.
15 total on the investigation of the door.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough. With Raj's roll plus yours, you quickly realize that there is actually a false back to that bookcase, and as you kind of grab it from the right front and pull it towards you, it opens up into a lit corridor heading towards the back of this kind of room area.
Okay, at this point, Terrence yells, "Stop!" None of us are going through these doors alone.
I'm not moving forward from here.
That is just a. I think Terrence now has a fear of losing anyone else.
Can I see anything down the hallway without going down it?
From where you're at, you can tell that the floor looks almost completely different than anything that you've seen. It's done in almost a well-crafted, nice polished stone. Kind of leads back. You really can't see much further than what what your dark vision allows, or even with your flaming torch, or even from the room or the light within the room that you're currently in.
May I go over to the egg on the mantle? How big is it?
It is roughly the size of an American football, or a rugby ball, if you will.
Didn't Raja take the egg?
Did Raja take it?
I said that I can grab it and put it in the bag of holding.
I'm sorry.
I didn't definitively said that I did do that, but I said I could.
Okay.
And we could process it later since everything's happening.
Did Raja also grab Better Duck's remains?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I have a helmet of Better Duck's ashes in my notes because I couldn't quite put that in my inventory.
Mm.
So Terrence looks over at Mara and says, "Mara, are we ready to go on and get out of here?"
I'm not. I need to understand why was this thing here? Can we at least... I'm fine getting out of here, but can we grab anything that's got writing on it or notes or anything, see if there's anything here that I can look through later and maybe understand?
Tell you what, Albus. There's these 2 bookshelves in the room.
Get everything put in this bag of holding. Right?
What?
Get everything and put it in the bag of holding. That way we can go look at it later.
I was gonna suggest to Albus to look through the books himself. If anything looks like it could be important, take it. Put it in the bag of holding. We'll look at it later. Maybe we can find some answers down this whole corridor. But we gotta make sure that...
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Muriel.
I'll tiredly graze a hand over Albus as he approaches the bookshelves, and I'll guide you on your looking at these books. Continue, Raja.
Now, before we go down this corridor, we got to make sure that we're 100% this time.
So we need to rest.
We're not going
to
to door, Raja.
Mara looks up at Terrence, and with tears still in her eyes, she's just like, I don't care what we do, as long as we get out of here, any safe way we can. I don't want to be here right now.
And Terrence says, okay. And while Albus is looking through the books with Muriel, while Raja is doing the things that he needs to do, Terrence asks Mara, are you ready to go down, or do you need a few more minutes? If you're ready to go down, he's going to jump down and be down there for you.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm ready to get away from this ugly thing.
Okay. So Terrence comes over here and says, jump, Mara, I got you. So I'm going to try to catch Mara.
Oh boy, I've seen this before. All right.
Hey,
Oh, no.
I was successful, thank you.
You indeed were.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful.
All right, so make a athletics check, Terrence.
Okay, I got a +7, so...
He rolls.
A 12.
It's not hard. You can see her. So, yeah, Mary, you hop down. Not the most graceful of landings, if you will, but no damage sustained.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Albus, with your... I saw you roll something there.
9.
A 9?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, so with a 9, not really much you gather from the books that are on that shelf over to the right.
Even with a guidance, Albus?
I got a 1.
Oh, jeez.
Mm.
Unless somebody
I
wants
guess-
to help me.
I'll help you. I'm standing there helping you.
I do it with advantage then, or can she roll to try?
Yeah, just go ahead and roll with advantage.
God damn it. Okay, that was I thought it was a natural 1 for a second. I was like, oh, man.
Oof.
No, it's a 13. Let's do
Be good
guide.
for something.
Yeah. And with 4, it's 17.
Okay, yeah. So with the 17, there are several books that basically really just kind of explain the occult. One of them happens to be you just kind of breeze through it really quick, and it does kind of explain that kind of the beholder itself came to this island roughly about 10 to 15 years ago. And this has been chronicled. It looked like
A journal?
different handwriting kind of throughout. So you could probably suspect that as various followers of the beholder came in possession of this and were writing in it, that maybe they didn't last very long, kind of as second in command. So it looked like he had gone through several just based on the handwriting in it. So you learn fairly quickly that the beholder himself, he was summoned. He doesn't know who summoned him. He was marooned on this island and kind of tunneled out underneath the island before really anything had settled there. So here come this group of people that settled the island, started building Stormbreak above it. So within maybe the course of about 5 years, this new city had popped up. And happenstance would have that it just kind of made its way to the backside of the tavern. So really unbeknownst to most of the townfolk, the majority of the people in this town have actually been under the I don't want to call it a spell because that's really a not great way to put it.
Influence.
There you go. Yeah, they've actually been under the influence of this beholder, who has now lived underneath this city for about a decade.
Basically, he influenced them to ignore him.
Ignore
to
him.
not notice him.
To also gather recruits that would worship him.
Mm.
This is Doomtooth, then.
This is Kardak Doomtooth.
Yeah, correct.
I'm looking over Albus's shoulder, and I say these creatures are intensely paranoid and incredibly arrogant. It doesn't surprise me at all that he would journal his exploits, or have an underling journal his exploits. But they're also collectors.
So here's a question: would Albus and Muriel be telling us this now, or are you going to wait?
That's exactly what I was about to ask.
I'll say it aloud. Please don't do anything rash. These I'm familiar with these entities. They are intensely paranoid and beyond arrogant. They believe themselves worthy of worship. If being intent, we have no idea what awaits us in this corridor beyond this throne. We should not be embarking on this at this point. We are not equipped.
Exactly.
So are there going to be more?
Exactly. So.
Or what?
More of these things that we just fought?
There are innumerable ones,
not.
but I don't think they're on this plane.
Well, that's good.
He says here summoned, but he knows not by whom. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking I need to talk to Hermaeus, my master, alone.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they can't abide by each other. They will fight if two or more of them are in proximity. I don't think there's more than one here. It would be a very incredibly rare occurrence if there was.
It seems to me like to get out of here safely,
we
need to rest.
Okay, well,
we have two options.
Hold on. You said that he's super paranoid, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Then this could just be his escape route.
Or it could be a chamber with more traps and more unknowns. I agree that's a possibility, but either way, we should not be investigating this chamber in our current state.
I agree. Well, so we have two options. One, we have a way to lock this chamber by removing the wand and the book from those statues. We can leave, take those items, lock this area behind us, go rest, and come back when we are fully prepared. Or option number 2. We take watch and rest here.
No.
So I would probably say, just based off of the mental state of the group and with what's in this room, that
we need to leave.
There wouldn't be a way that you would be able to get any type of decent rest within that room.
Yeah. I was going to continue with option 1. Seems logically there are 2 options, but emotionally and realistically there's really only one, and that's to lock this room behind us and come back and investigate when we're 100%.
We're literally just underneath a tavern, right? Can we just go back upstairs and just pretend this isn't here for a little bit?
We can actually go back out to the cave and go back out to the beach.
I put a hand on Mara's shoulder. I couldn't agree more. Shall we go back to the tavern?
Let's lock this place up. Make sure it's secure. I'm going to move the bookcase back as if it were never moved, just in case.
Is there a way for us to secure that to stay shut so that if we do come back, we don't get surprised?
We can
try to brace it, but...
I mean, lodge a book under the edge of the bookcase and it won't move.
Okay, let's make it happen.
Okay.
I will, like a door wedge at the bottom of the door, I'll kick a book hard under the bookcase so that it doesn't move. And I'm going to wrap an arm around Albus and an arm around Mara, and we're going to walk out of the five of us.
Still, like, rubbing her eyes, just like she literally can't help herself, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, so so the group is moving back up to the tavern.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So everyone's moved into that main room. So rather than throw everybody over into the tavern scene again, I'm just going to throw everybody out to the city view.
Okay.
Good idea.
On the way out of the room, though, if no one else is going to, Raja is going to grab the wand and the book to lock that door.
Yeah, that's fine.
Honestly, it was probably a good idea that we came out this way anyway, because, like, can you imagine going back up into the tavern?
Not in our current state.
Looking like we do?
No, we're not.
I wouldn't
going to do
believe
that.
No, not at all.
Okay, so you guys went through the beach.
Cave, the
Yeah.
beach entrance. Actually, I would propose that we just spend a little time on the beach. I look at Raja and that a duck was infatuated with the ocean. It was a relatively new discovery for him, but
He would be so happy to be part of Big Blue.
what say you to scattering his at the little ash, the ashes of Little Blue in the Big Blue?
I say we can each take turns doing that little by little.
Yeah.
Raja, and after saying that, Raja will take the helmet, approach the ocean, shake a little bit of ash out of the helmet as the wind blows it away. And after he shakes a little bit out, he's going to turn to Mara
And
pass her the helmet.
Mara holds up her hands and says, "No, I do not want to touch that." And she just sits down on the beach.
I'll take the helmet.
In that case, I will turn to Muriel, hand her the helmet.
I'll scoop a hand with both hands reverently, and I'll walk into the surf a few feet so that my robes get wet, and I'll whisper to the handful of ashes, "I'm going to miss you, my little friend." And I'll let the wind take them.
Take the helmet
I'm gonna
down.
take a little bit though and put it in a vial because I have plans for it later in a memento sort of way.
Do any of us see that, or are you doing
I'm not
it?
hiding it. I'll even explain it. I say I want to create something that we can remember him by. I'm not full with them.
Okay. I'll place the helmet in front of Terrence.
I'm going to look over at Albus and go, "Albus, would you like to go before me?"
All right. I'll walk up and I'll mimic what Muriel did, and I'll take a small handful out. And I'm just going to take a step into the ocean and say, "Goodbye, my friend." And I'll drop it into a wave. Go sit down next to Mara.
Okay. Terrence walks over to Mara. "Mara, is there any way that you would like to say goodbye to Better Duck, knowing that he's in a better place now?"
She just shakes her head and just continues staring out into the Big Blue.
Okay. Terrence takes the helmet with the ashes that are remaining and throws it with what strength he can. And just says, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Where we came from, we return to. May Jehovah take and bless you in your rest. And may he bless us as we go. And may he give us vengeance. And he turns around and sits down next to Mara.
You kind of feel a breeze make its way through the cliffs, kind of pushes out to sea. You watch as the ashes of Butterduck.
My gosh, son.
I think I lost everybody for a second.
Y'all, I'm like...
Is it Spectrum? Is that the name of the...
They're
Yeah.
They're after me.
Spectrum, I hate you.
A pox upon your family.
We're literally having a moment right now.
Right?
We are having a moment.
Timing ever.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Breeze, cliff, pushes out to sea. Continue.
Yeah. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, that was mildly interesting. So, even see, well, I mean, look at it this way. Even Spectrum didn't want Butterduck to go.
Yeah,
They
this
were
is
like,
true.
nope. So, as the group just kind of sits in quiet contemplation, you just kind of stare out over the ocean. Sunset at this point is maybe an hour away, so the sky gives off a kind of a red and orange hue as the sun starts to hit the horizon.
As the sun starts to kiss the horizon, I'm going to pull out my violin and I'm going to start to play. And I'm going to start out slow and deep and mournful, pouring all of the emotion of the loss into every note and play that for a couple of seconds. Then subtly, so that you can barely hear the transition, I'm going to start putting in notes of remembrance. And the music starts to bring to mind images of Butterduck. Times he mocked his enemies. First time he booped your nose. He kneecapped our enemies. The voice that, and his laughter. The times on the boat that we spent together talking and spending stories.
The first time he used vampiric touch.
Yeah.
The poker night. And just his excitement over that and him playing. And it builds and builds, the song builds until a sudden crescendo. I pour out all the emotions. And it stirs in you the emotions that we shared, the friendship, the confidence you felt when you were fighting along his side, the trust you felt with knowing that no matter what happened to you, that he would be there to heal you. And I pour into it my thankfulness that he saved my life and that he gave me a second chance. And it builds until I hold out the final ringing note of a relief for just a moment. Then I bring the song back, not slow and mournful like I did before, nor the crescendo full of emotion, but something steadier and confident, something that celebrates a life well lived and friends that are thankful to know him. And in the final rich note that I hold as the sun dips below the horizon, it lasts for both a beautiful eternity, yet it ends before its time. You hear in that note the victory of a purpose fulfilled. And I sit back down.
Friends. Night has fallen. Go to the inn. Let's drink of our friend.
Agreed.
Alright, so group makes its way back into town, into the inn. Spend the night drinking and eating.
Who we lose? We
Jeff,
lost.
Just
Albus.
No.
There he is.
There he is.
Mara wants to ask if Albus would be so kind as to help her look a little less. Her kimono's a little dirty. she doesn't want anybody like freaking out. She's sitting here and she's just like, I've got stuff all over me and people are gonna question me and I just don't want people to like question me.
Darling, you're scattered in ichor again.
Right?
Actually, I think
Please.
all of us are probably asking Albus if it's possible that he could clean us up a little before we walk into the inn.
So I know what he's going to cast, but I'm not going to say it. I'll let him say it.
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitonium.
Icarus, Spock.
That's right.
It'll be like a kind of like a hose line. I'll hose down Karen.
Signing the cross, that's what you're doing. That's the component for prestidigitation.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
So easy
you gotta
enough.
do the Pope hands.
Yeah. So, so Albus is easily able to make everyone appear just a little bit cleaner. Definitely raises the spirits of the party somewhat. You finish out the night drinking and just telling stories of remembrance of Betterduck and the adventures that you had been on together. At that point, I would say that the group turns in for the night.
I linger at the bar with Hermaeus,
Okay.
who I assume has been with us this whole time and just observing.
Yeah, he has been very quiet. So everyone else goes to the room. Let's see. I don't know how to do. Oh, wait. I think I do know how to do this. Maybe. All right. It's gonna work or it's not. It's gonna go really well or really bad.
Great.
So, hang tight.
Maybe just if it doesn't work, we can just have everyone take their headphones off or mute their.
Nope.
Or
I can
that.
change rooms.
There you go.
Haha.
Hey,
I can just pull us into another room.
works. Cool. I summon the bartender and I get a whole bottle of whatever that's there, and I pour Hermaeus a glass that's pretty tall for a gnome,
Okay.
and I push it towards him wearily, and I say, "So you had a story to tell me about where you've been for 10 years?"
Oh, yes, my child. It has been... it's been a hell of a 10 years. So, he takes, like, the biggest slog out of this drink. Like, he hasn't drinking anything in, like, months. Like, he just slams it down, throws it on the bar, kind of looks over at you, and he's like...
Pour it again.
I think I'm gonna need another one, and...
I will keep them coming as long as you tell me this story. And I pour him another big old glug.
Alright, so he kind of measures himself up a little bit more on this one. Kind of slowly works his way through it. He begins to explain to you that shortly after your accident, he was trying to make his way to Fasari, which is, of course, the other continent. he was attacked by a group of pirates, and they ended up bringing him here to this island. Once there, it was quickly figured out by the Beholder and his second in command that he definitely had some skills. So yeah, and I'll let you two kind of have this conversation.
So you're telling me that for the better part of a decade you've been imprisoned under this island by a beholder?
Oh yes, this deed was the most evil, despicable thing I've ever seen in my life, my child.
You don't say.
Absolutely. I've watched him kill probably hundreds of people by this point.
Then why not you?
He needed me. Did you not see the portal in the room? Did it not remind you of what we were doing?
Of course it did. What? The last time I saw that portal, something was sticking through it that gave me this, and I will part my hair and finally show him the tentacle.
Oh.
What's more, it left a metaphysical mark on me.
Goodness, my child. I had no idea. I knew that you were possibly injured, but what is this?
I've not been able to get... Whatever that thing did to me left a mark on my magic, and it's parasitized my growth as a mage, bastardized it, and twisted it to its own ends. I've not been the same since that accident.
Well, tell me more about this. What are you having? So he starts listing off these things. Are you having visions? Does someone talk to you?
No, but I did sense something in the mountains. I'm referring to our first session where we determined that the reason I came to those mountains and blacked out in doing so was that I sensed something there that I could not resist. Something dark.
Okay. There. That certainly makes things a tad bit more interesting. So you say that you're able to use this bastardized magic, but you have not been spoken to?
No. Well, when I approached the portal that was in the room we found you in, I reached out with my mind, and it told me what I was looking for was on the other side of the door. You. But that's honestly the only time I can think of that I've heard a voice that was not my own in my head.
Well, my child, what you have experienced is what the Beholder was after.
What do you mean?
That's why he kept me alive, to continue work on this portal. He was trying to reach into another plane and draw out a beast that he was set to defeat. And once it was defeated, not only would he rule this island, but he would also rule over this plane of existence. It was almost like a coup for him.
So the thing that struck me that night that you disappeared is what this beholder was trying to usurp?
That's correct, my child.
And it lingers still in the plane that portal opened to.
It does, indeed.
I look at him very carefully over my wine glass and I say, "Are you going to open another portal to it?"
I certainly hope not. At this point, I'm just content on living out my life either on this island or another.
I take a gulp and I say, it's a pretty wise move.
Yeah, well, you don't get this old by not being smart.
When that fateful night that you departed, you saw me injured. Why did you leave without saying anything?
Child, I knew that when that catastrophe happened in that tower, that there was stuff that I had to do. I knew immediately that I must make my way across the sea to visit with the Council of Vasari, seek their guidance on what to do, and, well, as you can see, I never made it.
What were you going to seek their counsel on? How to defeat the creature? Hold the creature that was in that portal back?
I was looking for information on how to keep him in that plane.
Does he have a name?
He does indeed, my child. But
what is it?
I'm hesitant to speak it to you.
I pull out a quill, write it.
It's actually really good. So in his drunken stupor, he kind of like leans aside. He's like, he's like, you can make out the name Drogos the Dark One.
I don't speak it aloud, but I kind of silently mouth the words.
So as you mouth, he's kind of staring at you. And as you mouth it, he says, "Child, never let that name leave your lips, for I'm afraid his tentacles might bear even deeper into you."
That's what I'm afraid of. If this is what he can do with but a touch, I shudder at the thought of what he could do as a full apparition. Master, why didn't you send a sending, or I'm not saying from your prison cell, but from at least the boat? Why didn't you at least tell me where you had gone?
I'm sorry, child. I don't know that there's words that I could speak that you would understand. I think once I got it into my mind that this was what needed to be done, my sole focus became it. Nothing else in this world mattered. I hate to say it, but child, not even you.
Well, that makes what I have to do easier. Thank you for the answers, Hermaeus, and good night.
Yeah.
And I'll
good night, child.
I'll take the bottle up the stairs with me and go to my room.
All right, bear with me. I'm moving us back.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Right.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy,
Oh boy.
that scares me.
There's a
That's
camera.
A lot of oh
I
boys.
see Rachel.
Yeah, it finally came up.
It's
Honestly,
Rachel.
okay, so I was telling them, like, out of character, I was just like, I'm kind of really glad that it didn't show up until now, because, like, I was seriously ugly crying when Albus was doing his
I
thing.
was crying
like,
too.
I was ugly crying. I was like, over here, like, oh my god.
So we made the assumption, Brandon, that while you were with Stephanie, that it did not record us.
No, it does not. It's only
Okay.
only going to follow where I am in the audio that it hears. So
then you have no idea
I
how
have
bad we
no
talked about you.
clue how bad you guys were talking about me. Which
You know we would
which is
never do
fine.
that.
That's awesome.
I
You
wouldn't
were
be surprised
talking
if
smack.
there's not like a other secret like Facebook chat group just where you guys talk about me.
No,
Just to talk
Actually,
crap on
no.
Brandon.
no. We don't dump
But,
on you
you know,
privately. We'll
that's-
do that to your face.
That's right.
Yeah. We're Christians.
What a good
we do
idea,
it right
though.
to you.
Yeah,
We do it
exactly.
in prayers and passive aggressively.
Yeah. Oh, the passive aggressiveness. I love it.
Yeah.
Dear Lord,
Lord, I
please
just want to pray for
As he makes
Brandon.
terrible
I just wanna pray
decisions
for
about
Brandon.
killing Brandon, you better not.
That's right. right, so as the group, Muriel's headed upstairs. Everyone else at this point, you've completed a long rest. Make sure you update your things.
I just want to say that.
Oh yeah.
Albus stayed up a couple hours writing in his journal.
Okay.
Mariel
And-
stayed up too. Go ahead.
I was going to say Raja stayed up a little bit to investigate that armor. He collected the bag from Terrence with his permission.
Yes, Terrence
and
did give it to him.
decided to investigate the armor, specifically like the type of armor, the quality of the metal, and the runes on it to see if he could like identify anything.
Okay. Just with actually both of your backgrounds in metalworking, blacksmithing, you're able to tell that it is of pretty high quality. The black metal, if you will, you can tell that at some point another type of metal was kind of added in with it to give it that color. The runes were etched after it was forged. Terrence, upon closer look, you actually realize that it is originally paladin armor. And
I had that feeling.
And the runes. Actually, who could do someone make a? Well, I guess no. Next time you're together, if someone wants to do an Arcana check. You might be able.
I'm specifically prepping detect magic or whatever it was I use.
Mm-hmm.
I'll definitely save that for someone who's got better Arcana skill than I do.
Yeah, me too. Because I've only got a +2.
I got a +3, but
so
I got a +1, so no.
So yeah, so at this point, everyone has slept.
One more thing. Sorry, Brandon.
No.
One more thing. Since Raj and I are apparently together looking this armor over, I pull out that cursed sword, and I'm going to cast a spell.
Okay.
Called Remove Curse.
Okay.
And so I cast Remove Curse.
Okay. So the sword.
Is that the same sword that Lord Storm gave you?
Yes.
Okay.
And I said that I was going to remove that curse as soon as I could.
You can.
Yeah. So once the curse is lifted from the sword, you're just basically you're holding a long sword.
Okay.
That's all that you know about it right now.
Right.
You can enchant it.
I will look at it again later, but for right now I just did not want anything cursed in our bag of holding. So
Pretty good idea, yeah.
All right. So the next morning, the group wakes up. You find your way over into the tavern where everyone is enjoying their breakfast, if you will.
Enjoying.
Enjoying.
I'm sure we're pretty solemn.
yeah.
Mara wants to sit next to Terrence specifically,
Okay.
just so you're aware.
Okay.
One of the things that you notice is there's almost a different feeling in the tavern this time. The music seems more joyous. People seem just a little bit happier just actually looking at them.
The different look in the eyes.
Yeah. Not so
Everyone looks happier.
not so dead in the eyes anymore. A lot.
Aww.
Just yeah.
So we actually did some good.
We did that.
Mm.
We freed an
Nope.
entire island of people.
Terrence
They didn't
looks
even
down
know they were
the
enslaved.
Terrence looks down the table to Albus and goes, Albus, Do you see what you did to this town? Do you see how important you were to this town? And then he just sits back and starts eating again.
And take my cup and just raise it and say, the better duck and the difference he made.
Here, here.
Everybody, here.
All right. So, I don't know. What are we doing?
Well, we need to clear out that corridor. Make sure that we have cleared out everything.
But not before we have a full stomach.
Yeah.
As we're eating, Mara's gonna look over at Terrence and be like, thank you for everything you did yesterday. I swear it's like you're the big brother I never had. So thank you.
And Terrence looks at her and says, you know, I had a little sister. I really wish she was you. And just
What
leaves it
happened
at
to her?
that. Huh?
Can I ask what happened to her? Like,
Well, she died.
oh,
That's about as much as I know about her. She would have been, well, right about your age. So, yeah.
well, I was an only child. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but my parents left me when I was like 8 years old. Like, she was a baker, he was a blacksmith. They just left me, and I was homeless. I'm really surprised that we never saw each other. Honestly.
Terrence doesn't respond. As a matter of fact, Terrence is stone still. A fork full of food almost to his mouth. And he's just kind of sitting there.
Don't you think that's kind of funny?
He
And she
looks
just
over. Looks over at her and he says, What were your parents again?
I mean, my mother, her name was Shyama. She worked at the bakery, and my dad was Damon. He was a blacksmith. Why do you know them? Like,
I know your father. He was a blacksmith
Okay.
under my father. And
hey,
I know your
Weird.
mother. I also know your mother.
okay.
At this point,
cool.
Terrence puts his food down, visibly shaking.
Muriel's just poised like this, just watching the ping pong match.
So's
just gonna raise
the,
an
so's the
eyebrow.
pigeon. He's in the corner
What?
going,
I'm just watching the exchange with my mug in front of my face. I'm being good. See how good I'm being?
I mean, I guess I'm a little surprised that you knew my parents, but I never knew yours. I think that's weird.
Well, your dad worked for my dad. And your mom was around, but I never saw you.
Yeah, they tended to.
But
You
they
know.
had another child who was my sister.
I don't have any siblings.
This
I-
this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make any sense.
What are you talking about?
My father had a moment of infidelity with your mother. That's how we know. That's how I knew them. But they suddenly left. They said that their child died and they left.
Wait. What? What are you saying? Like, I don't have any siblings.
Bartender, another round over here.
Shots for everyone.
Terrence, what are you trying to tell me? Like, what is this? I am so confused. How is it? What?
gonna tell you this, Mara. I'm not sure what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not trying to tell you much of anything at the moment. I'm kind of confused myself.
So if your dad and my mom had a kid, but I don't have any siblings, and she just kind
But
of like
she died
looked-
when she was 8.
how many years ago was that?
Wow, that was 18 years ago. Or no, I'm sorry. Let me think
would've
about
been
it.
like
I'm not.
12.
Terrence isn't good at math. Hold on a second. You said you're 20, right? 12 years ago.
Terrence, I was 8 years old 12 years ago.
So it would be your twin. My dad had
no.
2,
The-
but
no.
that doesn't make sense because
I
she's
don't
dead.
have.
They showed us the grave. I was taken there.
I don't think I've got.
I only met
Now I'm
my little
confused. Now I'm
sister
sitting-
once because she was sickly, and that's how come we knew that she died. She was always sick, and she was always very fatigued, and always looked like she was half starving. And they said it was because she was so sick. And her name wasn't Mara.
Me and Tyler both, or me and Raja are both just like,
What? Well, I'm terribly confused. What?
We're sitting across the table, and they're sitting next to each other, and we're just going like,
What did they say her name was?
It's been so long ago. I don't remember her name. Hold on, out of character. I have to check again. Oh, I feel so bad.
everyone's families need to be dead as characters. That's just how that works. It's easier that way. Your
Right?
parents have to be dead, so you don't have to remember their names.
Makes it so much easier.
It does.
also avoids the awkwardness of running into them in the middle of campaign.
Yes.
That's right.
I'm over here going, oh crap, what was it? And for some reason, I can't. I had this. Hold on.
Do I have a paternity test spell?
No.
Yeah, there's not a
okay,
23andMe spell, guys.
Her name was Marion. That's the name I'm going with.
Mara is very confused because, like, she knew that her parents were, like, utter trash, but I don't think they would have, like, separated a twin. You know, I don't think they're that bad. So she's over here, she's just incredibly confused. I'm terribly confused. Like, what? So I'm a sibling? Like, I had a sibling at some point? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Mara, I don't know. I'm as confused as you are. I know they only showed us ever one child. They only told us about one child. And she was a young girl. I got to meet her once. She was small in stature, kind of sickly, kind of fatigued. And then when she was 8, she passed away. They showed us the grave, and we never saw them again. We gave them food, we gave them clothing for her, but we never got to see her because they were always afraid that she would get sick. And then we lost her. And that was the first time I ever dealt with death, and I didn't even know what to do.
And then they sent
Literally-
her to the temple.
That's literally impossible. That's literally impossible.
The only thing I can tell you is if we can ever go back home, I can talk to my parents and find out if there was anything else they said. But other than that, that's as much as I know.
Mara is just like,
But
she's just like, I might have a sister.
but
I also have a dead sister. I
love how everybody is Messenger.
Not saying anything.
Ancestry.com. So, Terrence.
I'm going to need you both to spit in a vial.
Joffrey's reactions are literally priceless.
They're golden. They are.
Yeah, without a doubt. Oh, it's so great. Well, alright, so, paternity in question now, which is going to make this so much fun. What would we like to do?
I guess we got to go back to that, cave.
Well,
I
before
guess
this
finishing my
bombshell was
breakfast
dropped,
isn't a part of it.
before this bombshell was dropped on us, Raja had another thought. So down below is a bunch of caves full of potential cultist apparel, paraphernalia, and whatnot. In order to prevent this from reigniting in the future, I think we need to find a way to collapse those caves without disrupting the surface.
I've spelled that.
I don't think we can collapse caves without disrupting the surface. I think we have to close them off.
Well, we know of two entrances, the one in this tavern and the one on the beach. But we need to make it to where no one's ever going to find that.
I have this fun little cantrip called Mold Earth. I can do it in a very controlled manner.
If you can do it in a controlled manner without disrupting those above, then I say we do it.
Only 5 feet at a time.
I was going to say
that's fine. We've got another.
We can put a 5-foot wall at the entrance.
Oh, we can put several.
Yes. So.
Well, we've still got another 4 days here.
Yeah.
I've got time to collapse every tunnel in that place.
At this point, you've got roughly 2 days left on the island before the next ship.
2 days is more than enough time to finish clearing that place out and seal it up.
Let's get started.
Let's go.
Alright, so, for the sake of time and my sanity, the group has made their way through the tavern, downstairs, back around, dropped in the book, dropped in the wand, doors opened, room is still exactly as you left it, and you've made your way back to the bookcase, which you have now opened. Ta-da.
I'm going to say that everyone probably took a second when we first entered the room.
Somberness of
I'm
it.
sure, yeah.
Stood there.
Silence.
Mara probably still has tears in her eyes at this point. She's an emotional being.
Really?
Right now, she's really emotional.
If anyone needs a bump of calm emotions, it's a 20-foot sphere. I'm happy to cast it.
Just
Let's hold
go
on.
ahead over the whole group.
We all need a timeout. Everyone group hug and we're calm emotions together.
That's perfectly fine.
Love it.
So, Terrence and Raja leading the group down this corridor?
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, so as you kind of start making you make your way into the room, and, you know, so far so good. As you get in, lights around the perimeter, just, they start lighting up.
What is that?
Holy.
That.
Holy basil.
Wow.
Someone say a horde?
Chests.
Someone say a horde?
Yeah.
Brandon,
did
are you
say
trying to
horde.
buy back Better Buck or something? Like buy back our happiness?
All this forgiven, Brandon.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So would this
I
be
can be bought. I'm not even ashamed. I can be bought with fake money for a
Right.
fake person.
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
would this be a perception or an investigation check?
As you're close
Either.
enough, go ahead and make investigation checks, or whichever is higher, just do that.
Great. Camping check.
I did a 16.
Investigation or what?
Perception.
Oh.
Well, I get advantage with perception, so I'm going to do that.
Do it.
Ooh,
I
nice, Albus.
noticed nothing.
I'm going to investigate.
24.
Oh my god, 23.
24.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, so as the group makes their way into the room, again, kind of set within the walls, maybe just off of a little ledge, you kind of get the smell of almost like a burning oil as flame just kind of erupts and goes down the wall all the way back down, just kind of lighting the room. You notice that there are several chests. Obviously, scale-wise, they're not that big.
Right.
Right.
Thank you for
Just
clarifying.
saying.
Because I would have openly wept again.
We're rich.
Yeah, so as you start kind of making your way through the chest, and I'm just going to kind of rapid fire these items. So
Can you send them to us later in the chat?
well, somebody make notes, because there's no way for me to do both
I'll
now.
I'll try.
Jesse,
Yeah,
Jesse's
Okay.
great at taking notes.
Go
yeah,
ahead.
Mr. Fast Fingers.
All right, we ready?
Yep.
All right. So, within the two chests that are like gleaming with gold, between the 2 to 3 chests that kind of happen to be over in that area, you find roughly 1,200 gold between the chests. As you start making your way through the other chests that are in the room, you find a dread helm.
A what?
A dread
What is that?
helm. DREADHELM. So
That helmet?
is it's a wondrous item. It does nothing in terms of your stats, but if you put it on, your eyes glow red and it hides the rest of your face.
Okay.
Mara's eyes already glow red when she's enraged, so we don't need it here.
There is, within that same chest, there is a bead of nourishment and a bead of refreshment. And lastly, you find these boots. They look a little weird. They're definitely kind of humanoid shaped, but as you're staring at the bottom of them, it doesn't look right. It's distorted to your view. So you find they're called boots of false tracks. So these basically allow the wearer to leave tracks that aren't necessarily theirs, of another humanoid type size.
Stealth.
So as an adult, you could put on and like leave little kid tracks.
Aww.
Just saying.
So we have a big culture of former moonshiners out here where I'm from, and they used to put deer hooves or
Mhm.
Or
cow
cow hooves.
hooves
Mhm.
on the bottom of their shoes to fool the cops. So that's immediately what I think of.
Right, yeah,
when
it's
you say
exactly
that
what I
to
thought
me.
about, yeah.
I've never
That's
heard
funny.
that.
Alright,
Oh,
feel like
bootlegging
the-
was a big deal.
in some of the other chests, You find a ring of mind shielding. You find 3 scrolls. For the sake of my sanity, they are spell scrolls of the 3rd level. And you find 1 scroll in there that is a 6th level spell scroll.
Someone's gonna love that. Albus.
I will fight him for that.
I don't think I could use spell scrolls.
Mara's over here like,
Wait.
what is this?
I thought everyone could.
Look, pretty paper.
If you're able to, I think you have to be able to cast at the level that the scroll indicates. But I'm pretty sure all it's missing is like the last piece of punctuation, and that any caster can use them.
Oh, okay.
I thought. I might be completely wrong.
I'll research because I mean I don't have a spell book. Everything
Is that it, Brandon?
It is not.
Scrolls are.
Okay.
Oh, there's more.
There is more.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
Wait.
You also find a javelin.
Yeah. Oh. Of.
It's a javelin of lightning, since we're.
That's going to Terrence. Or Raja. Looks like
Probably
there's
Raja.
gonna be 2 fights.
Terrence will hand it over.
I just seen my horse.
And the last thing that you find is it's a maul. So it is a maul of warning.
What does that even mean?
All of what?
A maul of warning.
A warning.
Warning, yeah, not morning.
What does that mean?
Now, if you guys look on Messenger, I just wrote all those on there just in case, just to help Jesse a little.
See how I made Jesse take notes and then you still put them in there?
Yeah. Well, that way both of us have it, and there's no.
You said rapid fire, and we were expecting, like,
Yeah, I was. I was
just
worried I
wanted to
wasn't
all
gonna be able to type quick enough.
Warns you of danger.
And Jesse really is
Oh.
so much better at it than I am.
I'm looking at all the gifs.
Oh, and we did have someone suggest that we paint the Dreadhelm pink, and boom, ultimate intimidation tool.
Yes.
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 Yeah, so, that's that. I think with that, we will go ahead and end tonight's session. If you're watching, thanks for watching. It's certainly been, granted, last week was emotional. This week I felt was probably a little more heavily emotional than even last week. Again, I apologize for the technical issues we had. I will say, though, guys, I think I'm going to stick with the Discord layout.
I think I like this.
And I think when
Like
you
it
see the quality of the video, that you will too. So, have a fantastic week, everybody. We will see you here, same bat time, same bat channel.
Same bat channel.
Peace out.
Peace out.